I think it's been a really interesting day. The minister sort of set out a lot of the challenges that we have and really sort of stressed the need to do things differently, to find new ways to deliver public services, which is what my policy is about. And so it sort of gave me a nice handy lead into things, I suppose. And what's been great as well is just the examples of people who are trying to do things differently, working in partnership and collaboration, and it seems to be a real feature. More and more we see councils working together. We've got the tri-boroughs in London who are working together. You've got shared chief executives. So I think councils are really responding to the challenges of austerity and so on to work together, find, again, different ways of doing things, ways to make savings. We have a new policy, and one of the challenges is really understanding how it's working on the ground, what the impact is, and that's the same across the whole localism agenda. So it's really going out and speaking to people, trying to really enthuse people about our policy, and again sort of overcome some of the misconceptions and get around about it. So I think very positive things. It means a lot of getting out there, a lot of engagement. One key point was about the complexities of procurement. My policy starts off around commissioning and services, but it ends up in the procurement field, and sometimes there's a bit of a disconnect between those two things. And I had a couple of really interesting conversations with procurement professionals. A social enterprise can can look at local government services and say, we can do this better, maybe we can do this more cheaply, we can do this in a way that actually meets the needs of service users better, and enables them to challenge the local authority, put in a written expression of interest to say, we want the opportunity to bid to run this service. And the local authority, provided it meets all the criteria, then has to run a procurement exercise. So the purpose of it is to let community groups have a better say in how services happen, services that they receive happen, but also to diversify public services, not just to the private sector, but to social enterprise, voluntary sector. And so these sort of new, well, they're not new, but these growing social ways of doing business, and to get them more involved in public services. A number have already come in, others which are going on, and I've been dealing with someone recently actually in Birmingham who's thinking about using the right, and we've had some really interesting conversations. So yes, it's happening, and the policy is only about 4 months old, so it's still very early days, but yes, it's definitely on the move. We're getting lots of inquiries through our support service.